Energy and climate are two sides of the same coin, one man recently put it. This week, prominent global leaders from government, businesses, development institutions, civil society are meeting in Kigali for the Sustainable Energy for All Summit, a meeting billed as a moment for enabling commitments and partnerships for energy, climate, and development progress. Now, this forum, which was officially opened by President Paul Kagame on Tuesday, also seeks to spur investments in universal energy access, efficiency and transition, and to inform and inspire participants into action. Now, earlier today, I spoke to Christina Skierka, who is the CEO of Power for All, a global campaign to accelerate end of energy poverty, to unpack the significance of this landmark international gathering on sustainable energy being held in Africa for the very first time. Take a look.
So the conversations this week at Sustainable Energy for All are, first of all, fantastic to be having on the continent. But second of all, there's, I think, probably three main themes I see. One is quite focused on energy transition. Another is really on energy access. And then I think a third has to do with human capacity. All three of those components are incredibly important to making sure that, especially in the case of Rwanda, we can move from the about 50% levels of access to 100%. Very ambitious goals in this country. So it's great to be having these conversations here.
And what is being done, especially on your part, as Power for All? What is there that you actually doing to make sure that there's actually power for all and renewable power, sustainable power in that sense?
Yeah, so thank you for that question. So Power for All is a global campaign, and what that means is that we work together with a network of over 300 partners. We're all unified in the call for ending energy poverty as quickly as possible. When you actually look at this situation, which is where is the energy poverty concentrated, it tends to be in rural or peri-urban areas. Those areas are really custom built for a solution that's known as decentralized renewables. So that's rooftop systems, mini grids, microhydro, ton of microhydro here in Rwanda. So really our focus here is to elevate the messaging, help drive awareness, help activate markets, and also act as advocates to make sure that governments can actually follow the really amazing lead of the country of Rwanda and do carve-outs that help send clear market signals and help drive market growth.
What, in your own understanding on what you've seen, especially in Africa, what do you think Africa needs to make sure that there is power for all in that kind of sense? I'm borrowing the phrase from the campaign itself.
Perfect, that's what you're supposed to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I guess what I would say is, first of all, I am not in a position to tell the continent of Africa what it needs to do, but the way Power for All is structured is we work with local change makers. So we actually work with people in the countries themselves who are activists, energy experts, researchers, and we work together to find the solutions that are really bespoke for each country. I think there's a couple of clear directions that we seem to see across all the countries, whether it's East or West Africa. And one of those is absolutely the importance of policy and targets. Having targets not only for energy access, but targets for the amount of energy access to come from decentralized renewables is really important. The other thing I do see a lot about is the importance of human capacity and getting more people interested in engaging and being part of this sector, whether that's as an entrepreneur, somebody who's a sales agent, or even, my favorite, a woman starting up her own company to help drive energy access.
Very lastly, yesterday during the opening ceremony, you will use that as well. The president talked about climate financing, which also touches into what you actually do. And I want to know, in your own opinion, what do you think should be the role of the developed countries in financing climate adaptation in Africa?
Okay, well, being from a developed country, I can tell you, I think we owe a lot to the continent. I think it was a big disappointment what happened at COP in terms of not really seeing those promises and commitments turn into dollars in the bank. But that said, with COP coming this year, COP27 going to be in Sharm el-Sheikh, actually on the continent itself, hopefully we'll see some changes there. But in the meantime, I think one of the great innovations for this sector has been pay-as-you-go technology. It's actually been responsible for, I think, something like 50 or 60% of the sales of rooftop and mini grid systems here in the country. And what that enables is to let people basically pay as you go, exactly like you do with a phone. So that's been, I think, a great innovation. So there's a large story about moving financial flows, but also the very micro topic about how we're actually getting people to adopt technology.
Christina Sialka, the CEO of Power for All. I think we have to end it here because we don't have much time. Thank you so much for your
You're
time.
welcome.
Unless you have any parting shot.
My parting shot is, I mean, first of all, it's great to have partners in the media who care about this issue because you live in energy impoverished countries. But the more we can do to follow the lead of countries like Rwanda, I think the better we'll be. It's definitely an easier way, country where it's easier to do business, and that really means a lot to these companies. So more of the same, and let's follow the lead of Rwanda.
Christina Sialka, the CEO of Power for All. Thank you so much for finding time to speak to us.
Thank
on
you.
RwandaTV.